everybody. It's Debbie here. Thanks for joining me in my crafty den today. If you're new here, then welcome, and I hope you enjoy this video. And if you do, please consider giving it a thumbs up and hitting that subscribe button and joining my YouTube family. And if you are a returning viewer, thanks so much for coming back today. I hope you enjoy this one. So let's get on with it. I am thinking that you're probably wondering what an empty hot chocolate container and a flamingo plate have to do with a 12 Days of Christmas Ornaments series. So I will let you know. I was looking for the perfect size tin to make a snowman hat. Of course, I want to make Frosty's hat, right? So this happened to be the perfect size around, and it was cardboard, so I could cut it in half, and it has no ridges. I wanted something that didn't have ridges like a regular can. So this is perfectly good, except that it's got this paper on the outside. So I'm going to tear this off of here just like this, and there's a little bit of glue there, but I don't think that will make much difference. I am going to use this for the crown of Frosty's hat, and I am going to turn this plate upside down and use it for the brim. And just look how these are really proportionate, these two pieces together. I do not want to wait for spray paint to dry, so I'm going to just I'm just going to use regular black paint, and I'm going to paint it with a foam brush. So I'll be back when this is painted black. Alrighty, so this is dry, and I recentered this and drew my circle again so I could see where to put my glue. And this is dry. So I'm going to use the multi-purpose rapid grip from the Dollar Tree. I think this will work just fine. So I'm going to put a nice bead of glue right around the inside of this line, because that's where this is going to touch down. I don't want it to come apart. I can still smell the cocoa from inside this can. There. So I'm going to put that down. But I'm also, oh my goodness, the whole tube wants to bend instead of getting the lid on here. There. So I'm also, let's get that off my finger. I'm going to put down, in just a couple spots, I'm just going to put down a couple of dabs of hot glue. Just in a few places where it'll catch. So I'm going to put this down right on top of that glue, and I'm going to set it in there, and I'm going to look all the way around to make sure that I've got it in there. And then I'm going to let that set up and dry. And I have to go out for a couple of hours, so this is perfect timing. I'm pretty much ready to go, and this will be dry by the time I get home. And when I get home, this will basically be a top hat. So I've made it back. I just had to go run my errands, and this is dry and stuck together really solid. So it's black and it's matte, very matte. I want it to be shiny and glittery, and this is Frosty the Snowman's hat. So I want it to be shiny. So I'm going to again use this Crafty Kids metallic glitter glue. It's just from, I think it says Twinkle Town, but it's just a washable glitter glue for kids. But I'm thinking that if I spread it over this hat, it's going to make this shiny and sparkly. It's not going to be overly glittered, but it will be pretty. So let's see. Yeah, look at that. Isn't that pretty? It has like a green shine to it on the black. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to give this a coat of this glitter glue. This glitter glue has been coming in handy for a few of my Christmas decorations that I've made. So there's a little bit of paint coming off the lid of the can, which I kind of expected because I didn't put Mod Podge or anything like that on there first, but it's just giving it a little bit of a chippy, worn look. And none coming off of here, though, so I should be good. So this has been drying. I've gone and had dinner, and, you know, it's been a couple of hours. It is just so much green sparkle on this. It almost looks like it has the green sparkle, like when the light shines it, but it almost looks like it has frost on it, which is really cool. Like it's been outside and there's just a nice layer of frost on it. I want to add a few white snow highlights. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to drizzle the acrylic paint. It's just the crafter's paint. I'm just going to drizzle a little bit in certain spots. So let me see. First of all, if I turn this around, I think this is going to be the back. It's where the paper was glued on the outside of the cocoa box. So if that's the back, then this is going to be the front. And I've got a little chip right there I'll have to touch up. Or maybe not, it might get covered. So I'm going to maybe just put some, I'm just going to put some paint along here, but I'm also going to put it, I'm trying to do this so I can show you. I'm also going to put it so that a little bit drips down the outside. I got something plugging my bottle, I think. That happens sometimes. See if I can get it unclogged. I just took a little, not a twist tie, but a plastic tie. I just took some and so I want that to run down the sides and dry. So I'm just going to let it run over the edge. And I'm just going to let it run down just like this. I'm going to put a little there. I'm going to put some along here and just let it run. There, and I'm just going to let that run down so that it looks like there's a little bit of snow on it. Now I may add more I just like that. I just like it. So I'm going to let it just drip and dry wherever it settles. I like that to run a little bit more, so I'm going to turn it maybe. It's thick paint. It doesn't want to run. So I'm just going to leave that little bit there. It's almost just like there's a little bit of snow that didn't get cleaned up. And I'm going to hot glue some pieces on here. So what I've done is I'm actually thinking about putting a ribbon around here, but I'm trying to decide whether I want it to go around the middle or around the brim. Maybe around the brim. Let me see. What do I have? Okay, I think what I'm going to do is put burlap around there. I have this really wide burlap, but I'm going to I'm going to fold it in half. And I am going to glue it around here, but I'm going to glue it. Yes, I'm going to glue it down so that it is, which way should I go? Like this. Yeah, I should have put this on first, but sometimes it's just trial and error. You don't know what you want until you actually start doing it. So I'm going to put some hot glue. Can you see? I'm going to put some hot glue just across the bottom here. And it doesn't matter that and right now you're screaming, oh, you're putting it at the front. Well, I'm putting it at the front for a reason. Because I actually want, I actually want this to overlap at the front, because this is the part that's going to get covered up. And then there won't be any seams showing. So I'm just going to push that down into there. And then I am going to just add some hot glue and stretch it nice and tight. And I'm going to pull it around, and then I'll go right over top of that paint. Yeah, I know. Should have done it first. Oh, let's get my glue gun. The cord is in the wrong spot here for me to use it. So I'm going to put a bead like that. And then I'm going to pull it tight. And I'm going to go like this, right here, right there. I'm going to lift this up a little bit. See, it would have been so much easier if I just had done this first, right? So I'm going to lift it up a little bit. And I am going to pull it tight like this. And I am going to go all the way around. I need some narrower burlap too. This is 5 inches wide. I think it's 5 inches wide, this burlap. And it's handy for so many things. But all I'm doing is trying to keep this folded in half and pull it tight. So I'm putting some of that down there. And I'm just going to pull this right around into it so that it'll hold. Just hold it for a minute. Hold. And then when I get around to this side, I'm going to cut it, and then I'm just going to fold it under. So right here, I'm just going to cut straight up like that. And I am going to take this piece and pull it nice and tight. I'm going to fold it under. And I'm going to hot glue right here. Glue stick. I need a glue stick. There. So right there. And then push that right around like that. And tap that right in. And it doesn't matter right here. This is where I want to put my greens, is right here. So I'm going to try to get this as good as I possibly can. There. And I'll hold that down. Then I'm going to put a little bit more paint around the edge. It hasn't dripped down into it yet, so, but I might put a little bit more paint around an over top of the actual over top of the burlap. There. So that has a nice burlap trim all the way around. Just like that. Now I'm going to start gluing my greens here, right there. And then I'm just going to put this one right into it and let it harden. So that's the start. And then I'm just going to build from here. And I'll add more paint and stuff like that after I've got this built up. So I'm going to put another little bit of glue right there and put this one in it. Just like that. I like, put a little bit more right there so it holds it up. And a little bit more glue right here. And then I'm going to put this one in like this. Hold it. Okay, I'm just adding greenery to this. I've got I just want a big bunch of greenery there. So I want this piece to lie a little bit flat. So I'm going to look and see what side I think should be the back side, and I'm going to give it a little haircut right there. Just like that, so that it'll lay a little bit flat, so I can put it down here and fill this in the bottom. I want a goodly amount of green on here. There. So I'm going to put that down. I want this to be the base for the rest of the pieces that I'm putting on here. And let's see what we have here. This will be the back side of this one, I think. It melts the back of the stuff when I put it on there. It's so hot. There. So I've got that down. I just want that to be. So now what I've got is like this big, it almost looks like a shrub, an evergreen shrub. So pine cones. Once again, not store-bought. Found them on the ground, used them in a wreath years ago, took them off that wreath, using them again. Like, there's nothing wrong with them. I found them about 10 years ago, I think. So, that one. Put another one right there. Let's see. Another one right over here, maybe. I want this little ornament stuck right down in here. Maybe 2 of these. So I need to get some more of those. Where are they? They're over there. So I grabbed some, but this one doesn't have the top on it, and I'm actually thinking I'm going to pull the top off of these other 2 as well, because there's no sense in hot gluing the top down if it's not going to stay and the ornament's just going to pop off of it. So I want 3 of these in a cluster. So right here, I'm going to put 1. One here. Like this. 1 and 2 up here. So 1 here. And the second one right in here. Like that. So it looks like a cluster of 3. Liking it so far. And I have Let me see what else I have. I'm not sure. I don't want to put, I'm trying to keep it natural with the jute. That's why I didn't use a fancy ribbon. I wanted the jute. And the red ornaments are my traditional ornaments. I am going to put a little dab of hot glue here and put these together because I want them to stay together like a trio, like that. Yes, I like that. Then I may stick, I've got another little one of these, which I may stick over here. It's just a smaller one. Like that. And do I need a second one down here on this side? Maybe I do. Right here. I don't want it to be very big though. Here's a good sized one. Now, this is me thinking out loud. More than trying to explain what I'm doing, this is more me just thinking out loud. So, there. So that's what I have so far, and I like it. I also have, where are those little red berries? They should be right up here on my desk. Things are starting to get buried on my desk. So I've got some of these little red berries. They're not very big. And I'm just going to dab some hot glue on them and stick them in like this. So see what I did? I just, a little bit of hot glue. So what I did was I folded it in half. I've got, these are those little wired berries with a berry on each end. So I just folded it in half like that, pinched it together. And then I'm just going to put a teeny tiny touch of hot glue on the end to hold it. Just the tiniest little dab. And then I'm just going to stick it right in amongst those needles. Right in amongst the needles of the evergreen. Now this is a piece of pine evergreen, but then I've got another one. And I'm going to put it, just get a little bit of that on there. I'm going to put it right down there, just like that. And I think that's pretty close to being done. So I'm going to go, this is dripping down nicely like I want. Okay. And then I've got one, I had to pull all these glue bits off of here. It's going to take me forever. I may just have to go get my hairdryer and make these disappear because they're all through these needles. So I'll do that. I'm going to take, with a little bit of this white paint, I'm going to take some of this white paint and I'm going to brush some of this greenery with the white paint. So to do that, I've got some sponge brushes right here. So I'm going to take a little more of this paint. I'll just put a little bit, I'm just going to put a little bit on here. Just a little bit on there like that. And then I am going to just put some in there because I don't know how much I want, so I don't want to go very heavy-handed. Ah, that's good. Oh, that is so pretty. I am so glad I decided to do this. I'm going to make sure I'm brushing the back side of them a little bit too, because this is probably going to just go on my island or a table or somewhere where I'm going to be able to see all around it. There. There. I think that's enough. I actually really think that's enough. So maybe what I'll do is take this, and I am going to take it, and I'm not even sure. I want to dab it around the edge, but I'm not sure that that's what I want to do. So that was a jump. I wasn't sure I wanted to do that or not. And this one, I want that to look like a little bit of piled snow or melted snow. This over on this side is just a little accent. So maybe I will do a little bit of this rim right around here. Just like that. It's kind of like the reverse of putting the black on the white paint when you're trying to make it look like the enamel. There. And I think that I'm going to call it done. I am going to call it done. So the only thing I need to do is wait for this to all dry. And I do think it needs to have a little bit more kind of, maybe have this kind of coming down. And you know what happens, don't you, when you get to the point that you think something is done and you keep working on it and then you overdo it. But yes, so I think that's it. I'm finished. I'm going to let this dry, and I'm not sure, but I'm actually thinking about taking this small black stand, and it's a candle holder too, and just putting it up like this so that it makes more of a, you're going to have to excuse the messy, but like that, so that it's up off the table. So whatever I decide, I'll take some pictures, or I'll take a picture and I will add it at the end. But this is what it looks like. I love the green. I love the green glitter. The glow of the green glitter is just so pretty. But what I like about using a glitter glue is that there's no fallout. There's no fallout. You get that pretty shine that looks like frost. Like it's just frosted and the light's shining on it. It is so pretty. And yes, so I'm going to enjoy this one. If you liked this, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to comment and share if you think this would be interesting to one of your friends or a family member. And if you're not already a subscriber, don't forget to hit that subscribe button so that you can come back and see what I've got going for the rest of the month. So bye-bye for now, everybody. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you in the next one.